something completely different.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
Oh, what the hell's going on with TikTok, man? It looks like a TikTok? The little app that everybody likes. We got the breaking news from today's show.
And a good Friday morning to you. We're coming on the air with some breaking news from the Supreme Court. The High Court has just declined to stop a ban of TikTok.
What are all the influencers going to do now for a job?
Now set to take effect on Sunday. TikTok is, of course, one of the most popular social media apps in
I think it's the most popular amongst 18 to 37.
this country, with some 170 million users in the U.S. alone. But the app is owned by a Chinese company, and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have said that it is a national security risk.
Yeah, that was weird. They're getting rid of TikTok, but then the other apps that everyone's going on, those are owned by China. So why aren't those getting banned?
Today's decision.
You can't just ban TikTok, but not ban the other ones that are run by China. Are we not going to get Nike shoes anymore?
Today's decision comes after the court heard arguments from TikTok against the law that essentially forces its parent company, ByteDance, to sell its operations
ByteDance.
here. Situation very fluid right now. Both the outgoing Biden administration and the incoming Trump administration, they've both said that they may try to keep the app going. Joined now by our senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. So, Laura, let's just...
Man, this announcer, I forget his name. He's the new replacement for Hoda. He really sounds like he was out partying last night for his new gig. Listen to that rough voice.
Try to keep the app going. Joined now by our senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. So, Laura, let's
just get to her. Enough of you talking.
Just start with what this means, what it doesn't mean, and what happens next.
So no question, a defeat for TikTok here. Obviously, the ban can go through, but there's a question mark about whether the law is actually going to be enforced, even though it was a bipartisan law.
I just can't wait to see what TikTok looks like when it's banned.
Passed by Congress, signed by President Biden, it may not actually get enforced. So let's come back to that for a second. First, on the law here, the district court, I should say, actually, the District of Columbia, the circuit court there in D.C., decided to let this ban go through. And today, the Supreme Court saying they got it right. So they are affirming the lower court decision, which means the ban can go through, at least legally, as of Sunday. That's when the law was.
I wonder if TikTok will be cooler. If it'll be underground, if you can still post on it, and it's whoever still has the app that didn't download it or whatever, somebody download. What I'm saying to you is I wonder if censorship will go away and you could just post whatever. What if I blow up on TikTok after it's gone? Because I'm a bad boy.
Supposed to go into effect. And so this allows that to happen. They say they're not going to get into the First Amendment implications of it. That was something that TikTok had raised and said they're looking at the national security implications, something that the Justice Department, the FBI, they've raised concerns about, as you mentioned, the Chinese ownership interest here, whether the manipulation of American users' data could happen, whether Americans could be spied on effectively. And because
the government's not spying on us, right? What's that thing called? Oh, yeah, Alexa. My greater point is I'm not defending TikTok. I'm not a big fan of it, but I love when the government's trying to act like they do nothing that TikTok does to us.
Because of that reason, the Supreme Court is allowing this ban to go through. Now, however, as we have been reporting for days now, as Savannah and others have been reporting for days, the Biden administration effectively ready to punt this over to the Trump administration.
And punt, not funny. That's an Opie and Anthony reference, or Cleveland radio and Maxwell.
Trump administration also realizing the popularity of this app, looking for ways to save it. But for the company, if I'm the general counsel, I'm saying as of right now, I have a valid law that the Supreme Court is saying can go through. This ban can go through. And so even though the political winds may change here, Craig.
I bet this reporter really brings the points during arguments with her boyfriend or girlfriend.
The ban, as of right now, can go into effect on Sunday.
Based on the arguments that we heard during the case there, and based on what we heard from the justices themselves, are you at all surprised by the High Court's decision?
No, and the timing here really, I think, sort of crystallized the stakes for everybody. The whole point of this law was to...
Man, they're showing a video of the Supreme Court. They're so creepy, man. Especially that scumbag leech, Clarence Thomas.
Sort of prompt a divestiture. They hoped by passing this law by Congress, then the company would actually offload this books, perhaps sell it to someone else. That didn't happen. And so they were sort of in a game of chicken. And really, everybody was trying to see which one would sort of do the head fake first. But that has not happened here. And so now...
Yeah, when Mr. Beast was like, I'm going to buy Tik Tok, I was like, I don't know about that, buddy. I think if Elon would have stepped up to the plate, I think he probably would have got TikTok.
It's going to be up to the next administration to decide whether to enforce this or not.
Yeah, the thing is, Trump's been talking recently about how much he likes TikTok because it's what helped him get elected with all the clips of him on those podcasts. I think he's going to be the savior.
Happy hour. Happy hour.